Hi guys, welcome to iCADTUTOR channel. If you are looking for a complete AutoCAD tutorial and wanna become a master in AutoCAD, you are in the right place. This tutorial is the first part of the AutoCAD tutorial series. AutoCAD is one of the most important and widely used software for engineering and industrial drawings. In this software, you can draw your projects both in 2D and in 3D. At this time, the latest version of this software is version 2023, which we will also use for tutorials. Of course, it doesn't matter if you use other versions. Well guys, before we go and start to learn AutoCAD software, let me give you a brief explanation of how I teach and how you should practice to learn AutoCAD well. I'm going to teach you all the AutoCAD tools in a few videos, and I'm sure that after these tutorials you will learn all the AutoCAD tools completely. But please note that in this part our work doesn't end. On the contrary, the work begins. You need to practice well to learn all these tools so that you can easily draw and become a master in AutoCAD. How to become a master? Don't worry at all. After teaching AutoCAD and getting acquainted with the use of these tools, we are going to work together on architectural and industrial drawings, floor plans, elevations, and sections. It means that we will practice all the tools in the heart of projects. So please subscribe to our channel and follow the AutoCAD tutorials and exercises that we are going to publish to become master in AutoCAD. And also during the video you may come across a question, so please feel free to leave a comment and I will try to reply all the comments as soon as possible. And please don't hesitate to tap the like icon. Alright. Now fasten your seat belts to start this tutorial. Let's start. Guys, I came and ran AutoCAD software, but as you can see, none of these tools work. What's the reason? This is because we have not yet fully entered the AutoCAD environment. There are two ways to do this. First, click on the Open and you can choose a file, for example a ready file or a file that we worked on but remained incomplete or whatever, and then click Open to run the existing file. But in the second way, if you wanna start a new project, click on the New to start. Before I click on the New, I want to add that as you can see here, you will access the files that you have recently worked on and saved. And by clicking on them, you can also enter the AutoCAD environment and continue working on those drawings. But since we have not saved any files yet, and we want to learn AutoCAD software together, I am going to click on the new in order to enter the AutoCAD environment. Well, this is our AutoCAD software that we are going to learn together. Okay guys, let me first explain about the working environment in AutoCAD to get to the interesting parts of AutoCAD. By clicking on the application menu, like most software, you can open, save, and save as your drawings. From the import option, you can import files from other software to AutoCAD software. Using the export option, you can convert your AutoCAD drawing into another format so you can run your drawing in other software. Use print option in order to change the printing and the plotting settings in AutoCAD. And other options, all of which I will explain at the proper time. Clicking on the options, you can access the general AutoCAD settings tabs and change the setting of each one as you like. I leave aside these settings for now. You can click on this option in order to exit AutoCAD, and this area shows the files that you have worked on recently and saved, that if you click on them you can open the file and continue your drawing. You can see the name of the file that is open and you are working on it here and also here. And here you can see the version of AutoCAD that you are working with. And here you can close, maximize, or minimize the screen. Well, from now on, everything I want to explain is specific to AutoCAD software itself. AutoCAD has categorized the tools. For example, in the Home tab, the main tools are displayed. Even these tools are categorized into panels, and these panels are separated by lines, as you can see. All the tabs, panels, and tools are placed in the ribbon. Here you can see the panels such as Draw, Modify, Layers, and other panels. And also in the Annotate tab, we have the text, dimensions, tables, and other panels which I will explain in due course. I say in parentheses, when you want to draw or even modify your plans, you don't have to choose the tools from ribbon. You don't have to use these panels. I heard a voice. Yes, you may ask, so then how should I draw? I will explain at the appropriate time. For now, let's continue to introduce the AutoCAD environment. Do you guys see this round shape here? Its name is View Cube. Using the View Cube, you will be able to change the view. For example, if you want to draw a front view of something, you can select the front face. You can select the left face of the View Cube if you want to draw a left view. Select the top face for the top view. And also in this way you can rotate the view, which is mostly used in 3D drawings. For now we need only the same top view. At the bottom of the AutoCAD window is located the stats bar, including the tools which help you in drawings. Let me point out that don't worry at all, I will teach you all these tools later. Now I just want to give you an overview of AutoCAD. Very nice. Look guys, here is our drawing area. It looks like a paper sheet and it can be in a simple or grid mode. Let me explain this right now before going forward. As you can see, it is grid mode. In this case, the grid mode icon is on. If you click on it and turn it off, you can see that the drawing area will be in a simple mode. This is your choice, and you can turn it on or off, grid or simple. And this green line and this red line are the coordinate axes. Positive x-axis and positive y-axis. The point at which the two axes intersect is called the origin, the 0, 0 coordinate. Guys, this tool, which is called the command line, helps us to cheat. What do I mean by cheating? When you activate the tool, this command line asks you what the next move of the tool should be. So if you are a beginner, you can take a look at this command line and it will help you to know what to do then. But my advice is not to do this too much because it makes you lazy and you cannot get the speed of work that you should have in AutoCAD. Alright. You can click on this sign in order to create a new drawing. Click on it. Do you see? If you click on this and drag it, you can float this page and place it wherever you like. In AutoCAD 2023, we have this icon that if you click on it, you will be able to work on both drawing areas at the same time. Here and here. Well, I think I explained the important notes you needed to know about the AutoCAD environment. Now let's start to learn how to use the AutoCAD tools. The first tool we are going to learn is the line tool that we use to draw lines. In order to activate the line tool and use it, you should know where the line tool is located. Since the line tool is a drawing tool, it is located in the Home tab and Draw panel. It is the line tool. Line tool is one of the most important tools in AutoCAD. Now I want to use this tool. You can click on it to select and activate the tool and use it. But I don't do that. Because I just said a few minutes ago that if you want to be a professional in AutoCAD and speed up your drawing skill, don't choose these tools from the ribbon. Instead, I said, what should you do? Yes, I didn't say. Okay, I'm going to explain. Instead, you have to memorize the shortcut keys for these tools. Yes, memorize. Oh, come on, don't be lazy. The first thing to say is that we are going to practice together to master the shortcuts, and then you will be able to draw easily. Secondly, it is very easy to remember the shortcuts in AutoCAD. It is the first letter of the tool name or the first two letters of the name, and in some cases the first three letters. Now let's see how it works. In order to activate the line tool, type the first letter of the line and enter. Activated just as easily. You may want to ask me, how do I know it is activated? First, if you look at the command line, you will see that it is activated. The tool's name is bold and it means that you can use it. Secondly, if you look at the drawing area next to the mouse cursor, you can see the gray and blue boxes. It means that the dynamic input is enabled. Dynamic input does the same thing as the command line, but in a smaller size. Also, when the dynamic input is enabled, it improves your drawing efficiency. You can disable or enable the dynamic input by pressing the F12 key. Press F12 to disable and press again to enable. Alright, this is dynamic input. So then the line tool is active now and I want to draw a line. To do this, I need to specify the first point. Click to specify the first point. Again click to specify the next point. Click wherever you want. So you can see that the lines are created. I drew the lines and now I want to exit the line command. But as you can see, the command is still active and asks me to specify the next point. So what should I do? In AutoCAD, in order to deactivate the command, press the Enter key or Space key or Escape key. Also, you can right click and click on the Enter or Cancel. But I don't recommend this, since it will slow you down. So I press the Enter key to exit the command. Very easy. Again, I want to draw another line. Please pay attention. Pay attention, guys. In AutoCAD, when you exit a command, if you press Enter or Space key, the last tool you worked with will be reactivated. What was the last tool I worked with? It was line. Press Enter, it is active again. You can specify the points and draw the lines. Oh no, I wanted the last point to be here. Now what should I do? Don't worry. In AutoCAD, to take a step back, you can use the undo command. In order to activate it, type U letter and press Enter key or only press Ctrl Z. Don't press the Enter key, just hold down the Ctrl key and press Z key. I recommend this. You see, you can undo step by step and specify the other new points you want. Press Enter or Space to exit the command. Well, I drew the lines. But an architect doesn't draw this way and without length or angle. So now let's see how to draw a line with a specific length and a specific angle. First, I draw a line of specified length. Type L, press Enter, specify the start point. But I don't specify the next point since I want to specify the length. Before I click, I must enter the length. Since I don't know the direction, move the cursor to indicate the direction and the angle I want. I want my line to be in this direction. Now I want to enter the length. In order to specify the length, pay attention to the blue box. It shows the length. Don't worry, type the length you want and press Enter. So in this direction, type 150, press Enter. Now choose the other direction and enter the length. Type 120, press Enter. Again press Enter to exit the command. Very easy. Again type L, Enter. Start point, now the length. Choose the direction. Type the length 160. Press Enter. Again Enter to exit. Okay. Now I want to draw a line of specific length at a specific angle. Before I start, I want to give a brief explanation about angles in AutoCAD. In AutoCAD, in order to draw an angled line, the angle size and the angle direction are important to know. Let's see how to determine the size of the angle. Angle size is the size that the line makes with the horizontal axis. That is the positive direction of the x-axis. Look, this line and the positive direction of the x-axis make this angle. It means that this angle is important, not this one. So I repeat, in AutoCAD, the angle which is made by the positive direction of the x-axis is important. Okay, this is the size. About the direction. If the angle that the line makes with the horizontal axis is counterclockwise, the angle will be positive. And in the case that is clockwise, the angle will be negative. For example, the angle that this line makes with the positive direction of the x-axis is clockwise, so the angle is negative. But this one is counterclockwise, and so the angle is positive. Very easy. Now let's draw an angled line to better understand. Type L, enter. Type the length. I want it to be 100. Okay. Now I should activate the angle to type the size of the angle. There are two ways. First way, in the case that the dynamic input is active, you can use the tab key. This is one of the uses of the dynamic input. Press tab key, you see that the length is locked and the angle is activated. In this way that we activate the angle by tab key, it is not important if the angle is positive or negative. If the direction is counterclockwise, look at the dotted horizontal axis, go up a little. AutoCAD itself detects that the angle must be positive. If the direction is clockwise, in this case, go down a little, and AutoCAD itself detects that the angle must be negative. For example, I want the angle size to be 20. Enter. Very easy. And now I want it to be counterclockwise and the size 50. Enter. Very easy. Again enter. The last command is reactivated. Specify the first point, type 100 for the length. Now I want to activate the angle using the second way. Hold down the shift key and press comma, and the angle is active now. In this way you should determine if the angle is positive or negative. If the direction is counterclockwise, the angle will be positive. If the direction is clockwise, so then the angle will be negative. Here I want counterclockwise, so I type 150. Very easy. Well, now let's draw a 3x4 room using these tools that we just learned. Let's enjoy. Type L, enter. Click to specify the first point. Enter the length, it is 3. I need to determine the angle, so press tab. Type 0 since I want it to be horizontal. 0, enter. Now the next line, the length should be 4. Type 4 and choose a direction. I choose counterclockwise. press tab. I want the angle to be 90. Press enter. The next length 3. Press tab to activate the angle. Horizontal in this direction. Also the blue box helps us. Type the angle size 180. Enter. Okay. The last length is 4. Tab 90. Enter. Oh no guys, why the line is drawn upward? Because I chose the upward direction, so then the line is drawn upward. Press Ctrl Z to undo. I choose the downward direction, the same clockwise direction, and type the length. It is 4. Press tab. The angle is active now. Type 90. Press enter. Again press enter to exit the command. Okay, this is our room. Now I want to activate 2 drawing aids and to draw this room by using these drawing aids. Let's see. The first one is ortho mode. The shortcut is F8. Press F8 to activate. Press again to deactivate. I activate it. Now I press enter. The last tool is active now. First point. Pay attention guys. What happened? The line I can draw is only possible in the horizontal or vertical direction. It is locked. Do you see? It means that you don't need to set the angle. Do you wanna draw in horizontal direction? 3. Enter. Again specify your direction. 4. Enter. Just specify the direction and enter the length. And you don't need to set the angles. The length 4. Enter. Again enter to exit. Another drawing aid that can help us is polar tracking. The shortcut is F10. Let's see how it helps us. L enter. Please pay attention guys. Pay attention to the green dotted guideline. Guys, by activating polar tracking, the green dotted guideline appears. That helps you to draw a line without setting the angles. This is what the ortho mode does as well. But using polar tracking, not only can you draw a line on the green guideline without a need to set the angle, but also you can draw other lines in different directions and different angles. But in ortho mode, you cannot draw lines at any angle, only horizontal and vertical. Let's see. 3. Enter. A horizontal line. Please note that the green guideline must be active to draw a vertical or horizontal line. 4. Enter. 3. Enter. 4. Enter. Very easy. It is a very small room. Also, if you click on the arrow next to the polar tracking, you can see the incremental angles in the drop-down list and select one of the standard values. For example, you can use polar tracking to track along polar angle increments of 45 degrees. L enter. Look, you can see the polar angle increments of 45 degrees. 45, 90, 135, and so to the end. The AutoCAD will lock the polar alignment to increments of the angle you select. It means that you don't need to enter the angles in these directions, and AutoCAD itself detects the angles. You can create a set of angles as you wish. Click on the arrow next to the polar tracking. Then click on the tracking settings. Now click on the new. You can set the increment angle you want. For example, 15. Okay. And here in the drop-down list, you can see the new set. 15, 30, and so on. Well, guys, I want to add another point about angled lines. Up to this point in the tutorial, we had the size of the angles to draw the angled lines. It was like this: type L, enter, the length, press tab to activate the angle, 53, enter, again enter to exit. In the case that we don't know the size of the angle, in order to draw this angled line, one way is to draw a line 3 units long and a vertical line 4 units long, then connect the start and end points, and it is the angled line. In the second way, you can type L, enter, specify the first point. I want to say that the second point, compared to the first point, should move 3 units on the x-axis and 4 units on the y-axis. To bring this into AutoCAD, first I enter the length, 3 meters in the direction of the x-axis, type 3, and now please pay attention, press comma, now type 4, the same 4 units on the y-axis. Do you see? Very easy. Again, type L, enter, now the first point is here, and this is the second point, which compared to the first point should move 3 units on the opposite direction of x-axis and 4 units on the opposite direction of y-axis. So the signs must be negative. Type -3, press comma, and 4 units on the opposite direction of y-axis, so type -4, enter. Very easy. You cannot draw any angled line. Well, let me see if I explained everything about the line. I want to add one more point that is not without merit. Type L, enter, specify first point. Now, here I don't know the length and I want to specify the length by clicking. But I know the angle. I have nothing to do with length and I just want to enter the angle. To do so, I come and activate the angle by shift comma. Okay. I enter the angle size 45, enter. Look, it is locked at this angle. And you can specify the length by clicking anywhere you want in this direction. Click. Very easy. We have 2 other types of lines that I will explain in due course. Well guys, now you can go and practice this line tool and also the shortcuts. As you can see, if you learn this tool, you will learn many other tools at the same time and you can easily work with other tools in AutoCAD. Before I move on to the next drawing tool, I want you to get acquainted with some practical tools. The first tool is the pen tool. Let's see. Type L, enter. I want to draw a line. I specify the first point and the length 15. Okay. But now I can't see the end point of the line. That means I have to move the screen this way so I can see the end point. To do so, I use the pen tool. In order to activate it, press and hold down the mouse scroll wheel and you can see a hand icon in the drawing area. Move the mouse up, down, left, right. Okay. Now I can see the endpoint. Also, you can activate the pen tool by selecting it from this bar. Certainly, I would not recommend this to you. Another tool is the zoom tool. Rotate the mouse scroll wheel forward to zoom in, backward to zoom out. So simple. Another point, it is UCS, the User Coordinate System, that is located in origin, the same 00 coordinate. Guys, sometimes that I wanna draw an object in AutoCAD, I see this UCS in the middle of the drawing, and since I'm a nervous man, it gets on my nerves more. If you are a nervous guy like me and you don't want the UCS to be located in the middle of the screen and you want it to go to that corner, so then right click on it and here click to untick. And it goes to the corner. If you wanna get it back to its previous location, select it again. So simple. Another point to note, look at here, I activated the line tool. Okay, here you see it says specify the first point, okay? Now, in addition to having the choice to specify the next point, I have another choice. I can specify the next point or undo. This means that in AutoCAD, depending on the tool we use and also depending on the steps we go forward, we will have different choices in brackets. Here you see I specified the second point one step ahead. Now I can specify the next point or click on close to create one more line segment from the end point of the second line back to the starting point of the first line segment, or click the undo option to get one step back. To use these tools, you can click on them. Or, do you see these blue letters? These are shortcuts. For example, type C, press enter to close. It connects the first and last segments. If you are a beginner, you may find it confusing to know how to work with these commands. But don't worry, with practice you will subconsciously know what other options you will have inside this tool and what other methods you can use. Just type the shortcut and use the tool. Now let's get acquainted with the circle tool and practice these shortcuts as well. Well guys, as the name implies, you can draw a circle using this tool. To activate this tool, type the first letter, the shortcut, it is C, press enter. It is active now. Guys, how did you draw a circle at school? You needed a center point and a radius or a diameter. The same here. AutoCAD prompts you to specify the center point. To do so, click wherever you want. Okay, it's the center. It says if you are given a radius, enter the radius. If you are given a diameter, enter the diameter. Here I see I know the radius. So simple. I see the radius is active, so I type the radius, 15, enter. Again press enter, the last command is reactivated. Specify the center, now I see I know the diameter. I know I can divide the diameter by 2 to get the radius, but here I have the diameter option. Of course, I don't click here. You may think that it doesn't have much effect on the speed, but typing the shortcuts will improve your speed in drawing. So type D, enter. Now you can enter the diameter, 50, enter. So I easily drew the circles by specifying the centers. But sometimes when you want to draw a circle based on your map, you see that there is no center point. Look at here. The command line indicates that you can specify the center to draw a circle. If not, instead you have other options. You can use 3-point, 2-point, or tangent circle, and other way that I will teach. Here I don't know the center, but I know the circle I want to draw must pass through these 2 points. This point and this. So I want to use 2-point option. I type 2P, enter. It says specify the first endpoint of circle's diameter. Look, click here to specify the first point, and then specify the second endpoint of circle's diameter by clicking. Just click on the first point and the endpoint. Okay. Press enter to reactivate the last command. Sometimes you want to draw a circle that passes through 3 points. So type 3P, enter. Specify the first point, the second, and the third. It is very rare that we use this method. Now we have 2 other options. When you want to draw a circle tangent to 2 lines, I don't know the center, only I know I want to draw a circle tangent to these 2 lines. And also I know the radius. Surely in such cases we have to know the radius of the circle. I use the tangent circle command, so type T, enter. It says specify a point on object for first tangent of circle. You see the green sign? Then specify point on object for second tangent of circle. Type the radius 8, enter. So simple. Another circle. T, enter, first tangent, second tangent, radius 1. It is. Now please pay attention. We have a drop-down list here. You have several options that you can use to draw a circle. Here I drew circles using center radius, center diameter, 2-point, 3-point, tangent radius. Only this option remains that we didn't have it here. So you can use this drop-down list in order to select this option. You can use this option in order to draw a circle tangent to 3 lines. Click on it, specify the first, second, and the third points. As you see, I drew the circles so easily. Now go and practice this tool. Well, before I continue teaching other drawing tools, I want you to get acquainted with one of the most important status bar options. It is Object Snap, or Snap for short. You can click on it to activate it. Click again to turn it off. But I don't do that. Instead, I press the shortcut F3 key. Look, press F3 to turn it on. Press again to turn it off. I turned it off. Let's see exactly how OSNAP helps us. If you remember, a few minutes ago, I drew a circle that passed through 2 points. When I zoom in with the mouse scroll wheel, I see that the circle doesn't pass through 2 points. Didn't I click on these 2 points? Guys, if the OSNAP is turned off, it is impossible to draw a circle that passes through these points. It is impossible. You say no? Look. Let me zoom in and draw a line that passes through the endpoint. I will do my best. Let me see. Yes, I couldn't. I try again. I focus. Click. I think it is a waste of time. Again, I couldn't. So what should I do? I press F3 key to turn the OSNAP on. Now I draw the circle, 2-point method. This sign is due to OSNAP being active. When I turn the OSNAP on, it is as if I activate a magnet that the cursor goes and sticks to the endpoint. Look at that little green square. It shows the endpoint. Click to specify the first endpoint. And click here to specify the second endpoint. Also here you can draw a line that passes through the endpoint. I zoom in, look, it completely passes the endpoint. If you click on the arrow next to the OSNAP, you can see all the options in a drop-down list that is possible to use when the OSNAP is turned on. It is so if the options are ticked. Just click next to the option to show it. I recommend not to tick all the options at the same time, because then all the options are activated and instead of helping me, they make my job difficult and I get confused. The last point about the OSNAP is the Object Snap settings. Click on it. These are the same options that I talked about. Now I want to explain how each of them helps us. This is select all that shows all of them. As I said, I would rather not to select all. I must select each one I need. I will explain how to select. And click on clear all if you want to untick all of the options. This snaps to the closest endpoint of a line. This snaps to the midpoint of a line. Memorize the sign. This snaps to the center of a circle. This is the center of a polyline. Quadrant point of a circle. This snaps to the intersections. This is extension mode. This is about text and blocks. This is perpendicular mode. This one snaps to the tangent of a circle. And this one snaps to the nearest point on an object such as a circle, a line, and other objects. Look, do you see? The nearest point on this line or this circle or whatever. And this one is used in 3D mode. And this is for parallel mode. Now let's go and practice to better understand. I want to draw a line to be connected exactly to the middle of the opposite line. You see the midpoint sign appears? Very simple. Now I want to draw a circle which its center is the center of this circle. hold the cursor over the circle, it shows the center. Or I draw a circle which its center is the quadrant point of this circle. You see the quadrant sign, okay? I want to draw a line along this line. You see the extension mode, the green dotted line. Well guys, let me draw a polygon. I know you are not familiar with this tool yet, but let me draw. Okay, this is. Now I want to find the center of this polygon and draw a line. First way, you can draw lines using midpoints and find the center. This way. Second way, you can use OSNAP. So, tick the geometric center option here. Click to tick. Now you see the center of the polygon. Okay. Now I want to draw a line perpendicular to this line. To do this, come and tick the perpendicular mode. Or pay attention, hold down the shift key and right click. You have all the options here. This is called override. Click on any option you need. I need perpendicular. In this case, only perpendicular is recognized as a snap option. All other snaps are temporarily disabled. Only you can use perpendicular snap and only for one time. Look, if you wanna draw another line, the perpendicular sign doesn't appear. So hold down shift key, right click, perpendicular. Or you can tick the perpendicular option to use in other commands. Okay. The last point that you may need to know. Here I want to find the center of these 2 points and draw a line using the center point. So I draw a line between these 2 points. And now using the midpoint I can draw another line. At the end, delete this line. I want to share a very important point with you. L enter, shift, right click, click mid between 2 points. AutoCAD prompts you to specify the first point. The first point, the second point, you see the center point. One more time. This time I use the shortcut M2P. Enter. This point, very easy. It helps us a lot. Well guys, go and practice and use these object snaps and enjoy. Okay, let's pass on to the next subject now. The arc tool. Before I get to the main topic, I want to give a brief explanation about the arc. As you know, an arc is part of the circumference of a circle. In other words, an arc is part of a circle that is cut by these red lines and separated from the circle. Now I want to point out a few important points in drawing an arc. One important thing is the center of the arc. Also, we learned that an arc is part of a circle. Just as we need a center point to draw a circle, we need a center point to draw an arc. Also, we need a start point and the end point. Keep these 3 points in mind. Center, start, and end point. Whenever you forget, remember this drawing and these 3 points. Well, alright. Now let's start the arc tool. When you click on the arrow, a drop-down list appears which contains 11 drawing methods. According to the map information, you can choose one of these methods and draw the map. It may seem at first glance somehow vague. Now I want to explain how to use these methods. For now I leave aside the first and the last methods because they are not very widely used. The other 9 methods are important. Guys, pay attention to these 9 methods. What do these 9 methods have in common? They start point. I see that in all these 9 methods, there is a start point. So don't forget that there must be a start point. Here I want to compare these first 3 methods with the last 3 methods. I see that they are exactly the same but have one difference. That in these 3 methods we must first specify the first point and then the center. And in these 3 methods, first we must specify the center and then the start point. Now if you don't care to start from the center or from the first point, join me to know how to draw an arc. First, activate the tool, type the shortcut, the first letter, A, enter, activated. I remember that in all methods there was a start point. So then I specified the start point. Okay. Also I remember those 3 important points to draw an arc. Start, center, end. That the start point is in common. Now it should be the center or the end. I look at the map and choose according to it. I see the map shows the center, so I type C, enter, click on the center. It is finished. Very easy. According to the map information, you can complete the arc. If you know the end point, click on the end point. If you know the angle, enter the angle. If you know the chord length, enter it. I look and see I know the angle. I choose angle, A, enter. The size is 122. Very easy. Let me explain something about the size of angle. Angle size is the size of angle between these 2 lines which connect from the center of the arc to the start point and the end point of the arc. And a chord is a line that connects the 2 start and the end points of an arc. Alright. Well guys, now I wanna draw another arc. A, enter. Now please pay attention. Immediately I wanna specify the start point, but not this point. This time I choose this point as the start point. It means this point is the start point. Click. And I know the center. C, enter. Specify the center. Pay attention guys. What? I want this part of the circle as an arc, not this part. Guys, in AutoCAD, by default, the point that you choose as a start point, from that point, the arc will be drawn in a counterclockwise direction. Look, counterclockwise. Now if you wanna change the direction and choose this part of the circle as an arc, hold down the Ctrl key and move the mouse. And this is the arc that I wanted. One more time. A, enter. First point. This time I suppose I know the end point. E, enter. Okay. Now I can specify the center or the angle or direction or radius. I choose center. Click on the center. The arc is drawn. About direction, let me draw A, enter, specify the start point, and I know the end point. I know the direction, type D, enter. Guys, now you can create an arc using a tangent direction at the start point. Look guys, here you can specify the tangent direction either by locating a point on the desired tangent line or by entering an angle. Very easy. Well, let me make one more point. Listen. A, enter, specify the start point, this time this point, end point, E, enter. I know the angle, A, enter. Listen guys. As you see, again the arc is going to be drawn in a counterclockwise direction. You see, it is counterclockwise. But I want the clockwise direction. Therefore, I must hold down the control key. Also, listen. Now that the direction is going to be clockwise, therefore, the angle size that I want to enter now must be negative, as I already said in the line tool. So type negative 122, hold down control key, press enter. So you can easily draw an arc. Now maybe someone wants to say, no, I don't want to draw like this. And I want to look at the map and draw the arc according to the information in the map. And choose one of these methods based on my need. Okay, there is no problem. Let's try. Here I know the start point, end point, and also the radius. Using this drop-down list, I look for start, end, and radius options. Let me see. Okay. This is what I want. Specify the first point, the end point, enter the radius, 5. Very easy. Now I want to talk about the 3-point and continue methods. The 3-point method is quite clear. It says draw an arc that passes through 3 points, first, second, and end point. This is a part of a circle that passes through these 3 points. Now I want to use this continue method. Let's see. Look. Did you get it? The last arc I drew was this one. This continue method creates an arc tangent to the last arc drawn. Do you see? Very easy. Let me draw a line, L, enter. I activate the continue. This time it creates an arc tangent to the last line drawn. AutoCAD itself detects which one is the last. It draws an arc tangent to the line. Maybe in other methods, drawing an arc tangent to a line is difficult. But in this way, you can easily draw an arc tangent to the last line or arc drawn. Also, you can specify the length and the angle. Okay. Well, I think there is nothing special left about the arc tool. And now go and practice this tool and draw lots of arcs to learn better. Okay guys, now it's time to learn one of the most simple tools. It is rectangle tool. You can click here to activate it, but I don't. And I use the shortcut to activate the tool. The first 3 letters of the tool name. Type REC, enter. activated. Now click anywhere in the workspace to make the first corner of the rectangle appear. Now you can visually say, I like this rectangle, and I click here. It's okay. If that's not what you want, and if you want to specify the length and the width of the rectangle, it's very easy. It's like the line tool. And the dynamic input is active. The blue box says enter the length, 200. I wanna enter the width, press tab, 50. Oh no, the length size is wrong. No problem, press tab and enter again. 150, enter. Guys, as I already said, if you remember, we can use the tab key when the dynamic input is enabled. If it is disabled, let's disable it. Press F12 key. Let's see, now that the dynamic input is disabled, how you can specify the length and the width of the rectangle. First click to specify the first corner. Now you see that the blue box didn't appear and I cannot enter the length and the width. Now what should I do? I have to choose the dimension here, so then I can enter the length and width. So type D, enter. The program prompts you to specify the length of the rectangle. Before entering the length, I wanna add this. Do you see this size here? If you press enter before entering the length, the program will accept this size as the length. You need this when you want to draw lots of rectangles or circles or whatever. For example, I wanna draw 3 or 4 rectangles that are the same in length but different in width. I don't need to re-enter the length. The length I entered will be saved and I can reuse it the next time. Let me try. I entered the length 15, enter. Now I should specify the width 3, enter. Do you see? Click anywhere in the drawing area. Alright. Now I wanna draw another rectangle. Press enter to run the last command. First corner. D, enter. You see the size 15. This is the same length I entered the last time. No need to retype 15. Press enter. Now I type the width 10. Enter. Now click anywhere. Another point. Sometimes in maps you know the area and the length of a rectangle. You must find the width to draw a rectangle. You must calculate. Or here you can choose the area and the program will find the width. To do this, select the area option, enter the area. Now the program asks me if I know the length or the width. Choose the one you know. If you press enter key, it means that you know the length. But if you know the width, select the width option. Press enter. 20 for the length, enter. And the program itself finds the width. And this is a rectangle. I think I taught you everything you need to know about rectangle tool. And so then go and practice this tool. Well guys, now we are going to learn the Polygon tool. We use this tool to draw regular polygons. But what does regular polygon mean? A polygon is called regular if it has equal sides. Do you see? All the sides are equal. And also it has equal angles. Therefore, a regular polygon has equal sides and equal angles. We use the Polygon tool to draw a regular polygon. Guys, a regular polygon can either be inscribed in a circle or circumscribed about a circle. We have these two options in AutoCAD to draw regular polygons. But what is inscribed and circumscribed polygon? Now I will explain. Please listen and pay attention to learn well. Because if you wanna use this Polygon tool, you must comprehend the concept. Guys, a regular polygon can be located inside the circle or outside the circle. It means that the center of this regular polygon is the same as the center of the circle. The same here. The difference is that an inscribed polygon is a polygon that is located inside the circle. And all the vertices of a polygon lie on a circle. Do you see? It is called an inscribed polygon. On the contrary, a circumscribed polygon is a polygon in which each side is a tangent to a circle. It is called a circumscribed polygon. Now you understand the concept. Sometimes it might not be mentioned in the maps that this polygon is inside the circle, so it is inscribed, and this is outside, so it is circumscribed. You might see in the maps these two polygons. You have to distinguish which is inscribed polygon and which is circumscribed. To distinguish, you need to look at the radius. If the size of the radius is the distance from the center to the vertex, it is called an inscribed polygon. If the size of the radius is the distance from the center to the midpoint of a side, it is called circumscribed polygon. Okay guys, now memorize and keep in mind all these concepts so then you can easily draw a polygon. Now let's activate the Polygon tool and start to draw. The Polygon tool is located at the heart of the rectangle tool. Click on the arrow. Do you see? This is Polygon tool. And as you know, I don't click on it to activate it. Instead, I use the shortcut, the first three letters. Type POL, enter, activated. At the first step, the program prompts us to enter the number of sides. It must be at least 3. I type 5, enter. At the next step, the program prompts us to specify the center of polygon. I use the center of this line. The midpoint object snap helps me. I click to specify the center. Now it asks if you wanna draw an inscribed polygon or a circumscribed polygon. If the polygon is inscribed, so then the size of the radius must be the distance from the center to the vertex. Okay, this is. I choose inscribed, type I, enter. If you look, you can see a guideline from center to the vertex. I know that the radius is 2. Type 2, enter. One more time. I type the shortcut, POL, enter, activated. 5 sides, the center. This time I want to draw a circumscribed polygon, type C, enter. Now you see the guideline. from the center to the midpoint of a side. Now the program asks me to specify the size of the radius. It is 2. Enter. And this is a circumscribed polygon. This was one of the methods of drawing a polygon. And there is another method. Press enter to activate the last tool. Enter number of sides. If you press enter, this 5 will be accepted by the program as the number of sides. Okay, it is 5. Press enter. Now I want to draw a polygon using the edge option. What is this method? Look. enter. Specify first point. Okay. Now the second point. Do you see? This method is based on the length of the side. You can specify the length by clicking or typing the length. 5 enter. One more time. POL enter. This time I want 4 sides. Enter. I want to draw a quadrilateral between these two lines, so I use the edge method since I don't know the center. enter. First point, second point. Okay, very nice. Now I wanna draw another polygon. This is an exercise and also another point is included. First I draw a circle. The shortcut is C, enter. Specify the center, the radius. It is 1. Okay. Now I wanna draw a regular triangle inside this circle. Type the shortcut POL enter. 3 sides enter. Specify the center of polygon. It is the same center of the circle. The OSNAP is enabled here and helps me find the center easily. Do you see the small green circle? Click on the center. This triangle is supposed to be inside the circle, so it is an inscribed polygon. So then I enter. Now I don't know the size of the radius. I want all vertices to lie on the circle. What should I do now? Listen. You can use the OSNAP and tick the quadrant option. Okay, let me see. Yes, it is. Or you can let me untick. Or if you wanna temporarily use one of these OSNAP options, you can hold down the shift key and right click. You see these are all OSNAP options. Click on the quadrant option. It is temporarily active. You say no. Look, one more time. POL enter. 3 sides yes. The center. Inscribe. Do you see? The quadrant is not active now because I temporarily activated it, and this is very useful because when you activate an option temporarily, it is the only option that is active, therefore you will not get confused. Just hold down the shift key, right click, select the option. Now let the shift key to be free. You see the quadrant, click. It was another important point. Well guys, now go and practice this polygon tool. Now the tool we are going to learn together is the ellipse tool. We use this tool to draw an ellipse. If you click on the arrow next to this tool, you will see that there are 2 methods to draw an ellipse. But before we get into how to use this tool, I wanna give a brief explanation about these methods. When we look at an ellipse, it is as if the ellipse is a circle that is squashed. In other words, ellipse is a circle that has been stretched in one direction. Like drawing a circle, one of the most important ways to draw an ellipse is to use the center of the ellipse and the radius. The difference is that an ellipse has two radii, a longer one and a shorter one. Well, it's the first method. In the second method, we draw an ellipse that passes through 3 points. Using 2 points, the length of one of the diameters will be determined, and using the third point, the radius will be determined. Let's use the tool to better understand. You can choose one of these methods. Choose whether you want to use the center or draw an ellipse that passes through 3 points. But instead I type the shortcut. It is the first 2 letters. EL, enter. The tool activated. First I want to explain the center method. As you can see in the command line, I want to select the center option. So then C, enter. Now I specify the center of ellipse. I want the midpoint of this line as the center. To do this, enable the OSNAP, pressing the F3 key. Now it shows the midpoint, as I explained before. Okay, click on the center. Move the mouse in the direction of the longest radius. Half of the longest diameter. 2, enter. Half the shortest diameter is the shortest radius. 1, enter. Very easy. It doesn't matter if you enter the short radius first or the long radius. Let me enter the short radius this time. EL, enter. Center method. Specify the center. The shortest radius direction 1. The longest radius 2. Very easy. Now here's the second method. Press enter to run the last command. Click anywhere. Now the program prompts you to enter the diameter. Move the mouse in the direction of the shortest diameter. You can click to specify the second point or type the diameter. Type to enter. Now it prompts you to enter the longest radius, not diameter. Do you see the guideline? Type to enter. Again. Press enter to run the last command. Click. Move the mouse in the direction of the longest diameter. 4, enter. Now it prompts you to specify the shortest radius. 1, enter. Very easy. Again, EL, enter. Guys, do you see the arc option here? Do you remember the arc we drew using part of a circle? In an ellipse, you can specify a part as an arc called an elliptical arc. To do so, activate the arc option. So type A, enter. Next step, draw an ellipse using one of these methods. I use the center method. C, enter. Click the longest radius. 2, enter. The shortest radius. 1, enter. As you can see, the tool is still active. And the program prompts you to specify the arc length. You can click or enter an angle. And I click to specify the start point of the arc, an important point. Pay attention. Look. The direction must be counterclockwise to draw an arc. If you choose the clockwise direction, it deletes the selected part. Do you see? So the direction must be counterclockwise. Okay, click or enter the angle 180. Again, let's practice. I wanna draw this arc, this red arc. EL enter. The arc option, A enter. I wanna draw this ellipse using the center method. C enter. Click to specify the center. The radius 1.5 enter. The radius 5 enter. Okay. Now the program prompts me to specify the start angle. Look. It is 26. Type 26, enter. The direction is counterclockwise. Now the start angle is 26. Now here we have another option. The included angle. This is the angle between two lines that are drawn from the center of the ellipse to the start and end points of the arc. Here it is 24. So then I type the shortcut, I enter 24, you see. Well guys, this is all about ellipse tool. And I should point out that if you click on the arrow next to the ellipse tool, you will see that there is another option. It is the elliptical arc that I explained in the heart of the ellipse drawing. So you can use this tool in the heart of an ellipse or click on this option, although I don't recommend it. Well, I think there is nothing special left about the ellipse tool, and now it's time to do what? Yes, you guessed it. It's time to practice. Well guys, the next drawing tool is the Polyline. We left this power tool here and moved on to the other tools. The reason I didn't teach this tool in the first place and first went to other tools was the need to know some information to get to the Polyline. Don't think that this Polyline tool is not useful. On contrary, it is an important tool in AutoCAD 3D drawing. Let's activate the Polyline tool and learn how to use this tool. You can click on it, that I don't recommend. I use the shortcut, it is PL. P is the first letter of poly and L is the first letter of line. PL, enter. The tool activated. Now I specify the start point, click next point, the next. I see that it draws a line. This is what I could do with the line tool. So what's the difference? I exit the tool and draw these lines using the line tool to see the difference. I tried to draw a shape like the one I recently drew using the Polyline tool. I click to draw lines. And these green guidelines help me draw vertical or horizontal lines. Press enter to exit the command. Now guys, what's the difference between these two shapes? I think you guessed it. If you move the cursor over this shape, which is drawn using Polyline, you can see that the whole shape is integrated. If you click on the shape, you will see that the whole shape is selected. Press Escape key to cancel the selection. But if you move the cursor over this shape, you will see that each line is separate. So the difference is that if you use the Polyline tool, the drawn shape will be integrated, whereas this is not the case with the line tool. Let's reactivate the Polyline tool. PL enter. Start point, next point. Guys, if you look at these options, the most important option is the arc. The rest are not as important as the arc. And I don't want to waste the time. Before I explain the arc option, I want to point out that we use the Polyline tool to draw lines the same way we use the line tool. For example, here I draw a line. The length is 300, enter. Now I want to draw an angled line. The length 300, press tab, the angle is active, the size is 50, enter. Now I want to choose the arc option, so I type the shortcut A, enter. Now you see you can use the Polyline tool in order to draw a line as well as an arc. You can draw an arc using the same options that I explained before. That's why I left this tool for last. You can draw an arc using these options. Here I don't want to focus on these options and waste the time. So I click to draw an arc. Now you see again it prompts me to draw another arc. But this time I want to draw a line. Type L, enter. It's still on the Polyline tool, just I changed the arc mode to line mode. Okay guys, pay attention. Now I want to draw a line that is parallel to this line. How to do this? Again I have to use the OSNAP, one of the most important drawing aids that helps us, but this time I need the parallel option. You can tick this option, or as I said in the OSNAP session, hold down shift key, right click, select the parallel option. Now you see the parallel option is active now. And now I want to draw a line. Please pay attention. Here I see a green guideline and a parallel mark on the other line. It indicates that these two lines are parallel. Okay. So these two lines are parallel. And you see again that the shape is integrated. It doesn't matter if it is an arc, a line, or a combination, the shape will be integrated. Guys, this tool is widely used in 3D drawings in AutoCAD. Now go and practice this tool well. Well guys, in AutoCAD we have two other types of lines. You can use these two types of lines to draw a floor plan, and also if you want to draw sections and elevations in AutoCAD. Since in the next videos we are going to practice and draw lots of floor plans, sections and elevations, so let's learn how to use these two types of lines. These commands are located in the drawing panel. Click on the arrow, you will see other options. We need construction line and ray options. In order to activate them, you can click on them, or, as I recommend, type the shortcuts. First, construction line. The shortcut is XL, type, enter. The command is active now. The program prompts me to specify a point. I click to specify. Pay attention. Let me press F8 to turn off the also mode. Guys, pay attention. As you can see, using this command, you can create a line of infinite lengths. You can also specify the line angle by clicking or entering the size. You can create lines of infinite lengths at desired angles around the point. Press Tab to activate the angle, type the size, enter. Again press Tab, the other angle. This is one of the uses of this command. Let's see other uses. I exit the command, select all and delete. Guys, if you want to know how to select all and delete, don't worry, I will teach you in the next videos. Again, I want to activate the construction line command, Xl enter. Now I choose the horizontal option, type H, enter. As you can see, it draws lines of infinite lengths horizontally. Enter to exit the command, again enter to run the last command. This time vertical option, type V, enter. It draws lines of infinite lengths vertically. Enter to exit the command, type XL, enter to run. What about the angle? A, enter. It is clear. You must enter the angle so you can create a line of infinite lengths in that direction. Type the size 60, enter. You see its length is infinite and its angle size is 60. Okay, press enter to exit the command. Well guys, let me draw a line first. I use the line tool. Type L, enter. I draw a line. Okay. Again, I want to activate the construction line, XL, enter. I need angle option, A, enter. This time I don't want to enter an angle, instead I use reference option. That means I want to draw a line with an angle equal to the angle of this line, parallel to this line. So type R, enter. Select the line. Press enter and the program itself picks up the angle. Do you see? Now these lines are parallel to that line. Enter to exit. Let me delete these lines. L, enter. I need a line. Click, click. Enter to exit the command. Construction line, XL, enter. Now the bisect option, B, enter. Guys, using this option, you can divide an angle into two equal parts. First, specify angle vertex point. Then specify angle start point. Then specify angle end point. And it is the angle bisector. Press enter to exit. Again, I draw a line. Type XL, enter. Now I want to use this option, the offset. Guys, however, in the next video and in the modify tools session, I will teach the offset command, but I don't want to leave this construction line command incomplete, so I explain briefly here as well. Using offset command, you can draw a line similar to this line at a specified distance. Let me activate it or enter. I wanna draw a line at a distance of 100 from this line. Type 100, enter, click on the line to select, click above or below the line. Now this is a line of infinite length at a distance of 100. Again, if you click on the other line, you can see that it draws a line at a distance of 100 from the selected line. All distances are 100. Do you see? Very easy. Now the next command is Ray. Click on it or type the shortcut. It is the name of the command. Ray, enter. Let's see how we can use it. Specify the start point. Look, it draws a half line from the start point. You can draw half lines of infinite lengths at the angle you want, 90 or other sizes. You can even press F8 to activate the ortho, so then you can draw vertical or horizontal half lines. Okay, well, we learned these two commands just as easily. Now go and practice these commands. Before I start the Modify Tools tutorial, I want to teach you one of the most important drawing aids. This drawing aid, when combined with the OSNAP and Polar, greatly speeds up the process of drawing, editing, and anything you can think of. Please pay attention to learn these three drawing aids very well. You have already learned the OSNAP and Polar modes in this tutorial. Now let's start to learn how to use the object snap tracking, also called OTrack. You can press the F11 key to enable or disable this function. Before I activate it, let's draw something. I use this method to teach OTrack. Type L, enter. I draw lines without entering lengths or angle or anything. I use polar tracking to draw vertical or horizontal lines. Now I want to draw a vertical line. I use the polar tracking to draw a vertical line, and I don't need to enter the angle. Now I want these two endpoints to be horizontally aligned. What should I do? The first method, you can draw a vertical line like this. Exit the command. Type L, enter. Now draw a line like this. Here OSNAP helps me. The intersection option. It shows the intersections between two lines. So click on the intersection. Now I can delete this extra part using the Modify tool. Okay. The second method that can make your drawing much faster and easier. Press F11 key. Let's see how it works. Pay attention. It prompts me to specify the next point. I want to specify a point along this green guideline, the dotted line. Now it's the endpoint that I want. Click on the intersection. Okay. Very easy. It really improves the speed of your performance. Be sure to use. Again, L, enter. I want to draw a line from here to the right so that the endpoint of this line and the midpoint of the above line be vertically aligned. If the object snap tracking is off, I must first draw a line using the midpoint enabled by the OSNAP. Also, if the OSNAP is off, let me press F3 to turn it off. In this case, it is not easy to find the midpoint. All these drawing aids make our job easier. Press F3 to enable OSNAP. L, enter. Midpoint. I draw a vertical line. Since the Autosnap is currently disabled, I have to draw another line to the intersection of this line. Intersection, one of the OSNAP options, is enabled. Click. Now I can delete the extra part or not. Listen well. L, enter. Press F11 to turn the O-track on. I want to draw a line so that the endpoint of this line and the midpoint of the above line be vertically aligned. Move the mouse to the midpoint and now move it down. You see how important these drawing aids are and they help us a lot. Very nice. Another example. Here I draw a line. And from this point I want to draw a line. I know the angle but not the length, and I want to specify the length by clicking. Now what should I do? As I explained before, hold down Shift key and press comma to activate the angle. 125, okay. Now the endpoint. I want these two endpoints to be horizontally aligned. Move the mouse to the endpoint. Do you see the guideline? Click. And also I can specify the next point. For example, I move the mouse to this point and to this point, since I want the endpoint to be located at the intersection of these two green guidelines. Also, you can specify the lengths and distances. Look at here, I want to draw the line above, L enter, the length 2, now the line below. Draw a line of length 5 at a distance of 1 from the line above. You may want to draw a vertical line of length 1 and another line of length 5. Enter to exit the command and delete this line. Or pay attention. Draw a line of length 2. Again L enter. Specify the first point. Move the mouse to the start point. Don't click and just move the mouse to down to activate the dotted guideline. And the distance I want it to be 1, the length 5. You can easily draw a parallel line at a given distance. Now let's draw this one. You can see here that these are exercises for all the tools we have already learned. I look and see here and here I don't know the lengths. So it's better to start from the line above. I draw a line of length 4. Now I see that I have a polygon whose center is located at a distance of 2 from the midpoint of the line above. First I activate the polygon tool, POL enter. Number of sides 5 enter. Now I specify the center. Okay, I know. Move the mouse to the midpoint. Look at the guideline. Move the mouse to down. Type to enter. Looking at the dimensions, I find out that this polygon is inscribed in circles. So then I enter. Do you see how easy it is? Very easy. Enter the radius 1. Okay. Now I need to draw a line of length 2.5 from the center of the polygon. L enter. Now how do I find the center of it? You can use the OSNAP and tick the geometric center option. Or you can temporarily activate it by holding the Shift key and right click. Select the geometric center option. Now it shows the center. Draw a line of length 2. Okay. Now I want to draw this line, a horizontal line. You may want to calculate the length, but I know where the endpoint should be, so move the mouse to the endpoint of the above line and then move the mouse to down. Click, again click here. Very easy. Guys, please practice these 3 drawing aids well to learn better. Now I wanna clarify something. As you saw in this tutorial, I drew a line and said, for example, its length is 2, or I drew a circle and said that its radius is 100. But no one asked me what happened to the units. Is it a meter, a millimeter, an inch, or whatever? Oh, maybe you asked, but I didn't hear. Anyway, now let's see how to set the units. Before I start to set the units, I must say that before you start drawing, you must first specify the units. To set the units, we have two ways. You can click on the AutoCAD sign and Drawing Utilities, then click on the Units option. The second way, you can type the shortcut UN, enter. Here I want to set the units. This is for the length and this side is for the angle. Here you can set the format for units of measure. Values include architecture, decimal, engineering, or others. Here you can set the number of decimal places or fractional size displayed for linear measurements. And here, depending on the country you live in and depending on the unit of the map you are going to draw, you can choose the unit. It is centimeters, meters, millimeters, inches, whatever. Listen, after selecting the unit, you must change the type. If you want to use meters, centimeters, or millimeters, select the decimal type. If it is inches or feet, select the architectural or engineering type. Choose the one you like. Alright. And this is for the angles. Here you can set angle format. And here you can set the precision for the angle display. It is not used much. Guys, as I said before, the default direction for positive angles is counterclockwise. If you tick this option, the default direction changes to clockwise. I recommend to leave it unticked. Okay. This is the units. Another important point I want to share, I want to draw a line and first let me set the units, UN, enter. I want to draw in centimeters, okay, L, enter. The length I want it to be 1 centimeter. Type 1, enter. Again enter to exit the command. Now I wanna draw a line of length 1 meter. Pay attention. Here you should not enter 1 for the length. It must be in centimeters, since I have changed the units to centimeters. It means that here that the length is 1 meter, you must convert it to centimeters. So then it must be 100 centimeters. Got it? Very nice. Well guys, we are now at the end of the first part of AutoCAD tutorial. Please practice all the tools we learned together in this tutorial. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything, leave a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, tap the notification bell, and don't miss the tutorials that we are going to publish. In the second part, we are going to learn other useful AutoCAD tools. Well, take care, goodbye, until next session.